I haven't been to BEL AIR Presbyterian in a while. Just came back today. Drew Sams is still the pastor here. He took over for Brewer, I think. And see, I thought the church had become liberal, so I hadn't been going for a while. Last time I was here, I think the pastor was speaking about his infertility. He's speaking about infertility issues, personal. And it was kind of strange, but anyways, I had been going to some of those movie nights they were having here. I don't see that on their calendar anymore. It's been, I don't know, a couple of years since I've been here. It just doesn't. It's just so far away from everything where I'm at during the warm weather. Now that the cooler weather's coming, I'm over on this side of town more often. But I just thought they had become so liberal, and then when I'd come on those movie nights, they'd give me these blank stares, like, who is this guy? They have this so-called elite group of Hollywood people. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. I didn't see it. They're called BADD or something like that. For I forget what it stands for, but they call themselves elite Hollywood, and only those people. I don't know how you get into their elite club, but they were names, they're not names you know in Hollywood, so I don't know how they call themselves. They sound like you're having like Harrison Ford and Clint Eastwood in there. So I don't know, maybe it was just all made up and kind of to pat each other on the back or something. But however you got into that club, it wasn't clear, but if you weren't part of that club, you couldn't go to it. You could go to the movies, but you couldn't go to their special elite gathering, which is kind of strange, But anyway, I don't know if they're still doing that. And so today was the first day I've been back in a while, and now I was greeted by an African American guy at the door, which is new. Not, I mean, when I was going there for a while, I didn't see too many African Americans. So now I mean, it's kind of difficult to address this issue because, I mean, BEL AIR Presbyterian is what you would call a white, so-called white church. But you're seeing this at more and more white churches where black people will come in on an individual basis and become greeters and members of the choir. I think there were 2 blacks, African Americans in the choir at BEL AIR Presbyterian. And I don't know if they're doing it to try to make a point. It seems kind of like almost like a protest, because there's so many black churches around here in Los Angeles. It's like they have to make a specific, conscientious, intentional choice to come to a white church when there's so many black churches they could be fitting in very well at. It's not like there's any shortage around here. So it's almost like this happened at the Crystal Cathedral too. I go to a lot of different churches. I haven't seen it happen at Mariners Irvine yet. Occasionally they'll have an African American on the stage. And this is not against blacks. It's just trying to understand what is their point. If they're trying to make it almost like an Occupy thing, like I'm going to come to a white church whether you like it or not. Now, it's not a matter of whether I like it or not. I have no problem with African Americans. It just seems like they're trying to hit you over the head with something. You don't know what it is. So anyways, I was greeted by this African American at the door, and that was my first impression. Big smile, gave me a handshake, but it felt like, here we go again. What's the point here? He just wants to be a black person at a white church, show that he can do it. BEL AIR Presbyterian probably has also a reputation of being a wealthy church, but what do you get from that? Nothing. You're just expected to give more. It's not like they're going to give you a TV when you come to church or something. You get a nice view. Yeah, you get a nice view over the valley. Maybe it's in the so-called wealthy side of town. BEL AIR is supposedly wealthy, but wow. I don't get anything from it because it's a so-called wealthy church. It's not like you get, I don't even know, maybe they give free coffee or not, but maybe they're not. Maybe they don't even do that. I don't know, because I don't usually check for that. So what's the point of being a wealthy church? What's that mean, going to a wealthy church? Just to say you go to a wealthy church? Is it a status thing? I don't know. But let's just pray for BEL AIR Presbyterian. They're working out all their... I've never got the sense they have a clear vision. And then when Brewer left, he left because I think the Presbyterian church had started to accept homosexuality, gay and gay pastors, or whatever it was, something about the gay issue, and he protested that. And I don't know where they stand now, where BEL AIR Presbyterian stands, if they're part of that or not. But that was one issue I know that was going on when Brewer left. He was a pretty good guy. But now I noticed when I looked up BEL AIR Pres on the website that they actually use the word conservative to describe themselves. So maybe they're trying to get back to that conservative reputation, which I think they lost for a while. They had gone astray from. So we'll see. We'll just pray for BEL AIR Pres to work out their issues and have a clear vision. And then I'll try to get off the black issue. It's just that I spent a whole 2 days at Fuller Seminary's missiology conference, which was almost all about so-called whiteness. And it was mostly black professors mostly black professors going off about whiteness. There were a few white professors who were trying to act black, I guess. Act as if they were concerned about the so-called problem of white privilege in America. Well, the only problem is that whites are a minority here in Southern California, Los Angeles especially, so it's not as if we have numerically we don't even have that power as white people. Maybe in certain parts like Hollywood, maybe they still have a little pull, but even that, you got Oscars so white, things like that. We're getting hit over the head with this everywhere, and it doesn't make it very fun anymore to be. Even if we did have white privilege, which I don't think we do, I don't have it for sure. Even if we did have it, it's not much fun having it. Let's just pray for BEL AIR Presbyterian and all the minority black-white issues to work themselves out, so we don't have to keep getting hit over the head, and we can just start getting on with helping people regardless of skin color. Even in the pulpit, Drew Sams was talking about racism. I wasn't even listening. I had a half a ear open to his message, but I did hear the word racism at one point. So they're just getting off on this issue. And now if you're a white pastor, leader, you're expected to apologize for being white. And we're all the white people in the church have to kind of have a sad face. Oh, we're so sad. We're so sorry for being white. Sorry. and then the blacks come in, and the opportunist blacks take advantage of that, even though they know they're just kind of they're laughing at us. I know that, because I grew up in a black school. I actually attended. They thought it'd be great for me to go to a back in the early '70s elementary school. You know, when integration was just starting to really become the norm at public schools. They thought, oh, it'd be great to send our little white boy to an integrated school. And so I experienced the integration. And then later, after 4th grade, they switched me over to the mostly white Christian school. I know the way people think. A lot of people who went only to white schools don't know. My classmates who at the Christian school after I transferred, they didn't know. They spent their whole lives going to white schools. Okay. Let's just pray for this thing to work itself out. It's getting tiring, really. Tiring and no fun. # no fun America anymore.